I got it.
I might have the sheet over there.
Yeah.
Wherever Gervais is, she can probably hunt it up for you. Would you hunt it up, please? Thank you. Okay, for our next session, just gotta try to keep everybody awake. Penny Owens, Assistant Purchasing Director for City of Knoxville. Also our chapter ambassador. She's got a tough job ahead of her too. And I told her she has to hear this, whether she wants to hear about herself or not, so here we go. Penny Owens has over 25 years experience in public procurement, both local and federal government, covering most all aspects of procurement, including solicitations, purchasing, contract compliance, and management, cost/price analysis, staff supervision and training, and expertise with ERP systems. She has been with the City of Knoxville for 11 years and is currently the Assistant Purchasing Agent. Responsible for managing all construction bids and complex RFPs, as well as managing the buying staff and contract manager. Penny holds a bachelor's degree from the University of Phoenix, has a Certified Public Procurement Officer CPPO certification, is a member of the East Tennessee Purchasing Association, the Tennessee Association of Public Purchasing, that's us, and NIGP. Penny serves as ETPA's co-webmaster, is TAP's past president, is an NIGP chapter ambassador for Area 3, and also on NIGP's consulting team, managed by Periscope. She was awarded both the ETPA Buyer of the Year and ETPA Volunteer of the Year Award for 2016. A native of Michigan, Penny came to her senses many years ago, joining the birds and migrated south in the spring. She resides in Knoxville, Tennessee with her son, her cat, and her big dog, Cornelius, and he is beautiful. And when do you sleep? Okay, just checking. Welcome, Penny. Thank you.
Since Debbie makes me be past president, even though I'm not really past president from last year because she was president, but I'm the most recent past president. So I've been asked to do the honors. I get a key. You get a key and a certificate. Oh, she's a perfect, but it's not here yet. So in recognition of Debbie's outstanding service to Pat from last year, we want to present her with this beautiful plaque, soon to be plaque. And thank you for being our president and doing it again. Okay, so I like to walk and talk. So can I walk and talk and not carry the microphone? Sure. Will I keep you awake? Okay.
I moved it back here so we can.
So I have the dreaded after lunch session. So I know y'all are gonna be sleepy because that was really good food. So anyway, but I'll get you up moving a little bit and we'll see what we can do. I can keep you awake. Oh wait. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about generational differences in the workplace, and this is so applicable to all of us. I know personally in my own office, we have a couple people ready to go out the door. They're ready to retire. We have my boss who's a few years older than me, and then I have Julie. And I have Natalie, who are millennials, and we don't say that as a bad thing. Millennials are a good thing. I feel like they get a little misaligned from time to time. So we'll talk about kind of recognizing what all the different generations are, some of their traits, and how you can kind of manage that, what you can do to work with each other. So it's kind of an unprecedented time in our workplace because we actually have up to 5 generations in the workplace. We have, folks that we have people at our city at least who are in their 70s and they're still in the workplace.
Careful now. Careful.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I don't want to say that. I personally don't want to say that long, but I applaud people that do. So, so it's really it can be a challenge because they grew up in a whole different era even than I did, and certainly somebody like Julie's age. So, sorry, Julie, I'm going to put I know. That's what happens when Julie comes with me. She gets picked on. So anyway, I thought this was really cute. I didn't know I was that old that my laptop is now considered the grandpa box. Can y'all see it in the back okay? So, yeah. So, and that's kind of just, it's true. Younger people work on their devices, period. They have them all the time. We're all getting that way. Yeah, so there's my grandpa box, and yeah, I'm gonna work from that because I'm a little older. So I thought that was cute, but that's a good representation of how we have kind of this, not necessarily divide, but just differences in how we all work. So who are these generations? So we have the traditionals. So they were born before 46. We have baby boomers, which are 40, I can't see that.
46.
46 to 64, okay? And then we have the boomers, 65 to 80. So I'm on the line. I'm either a boom Xer or you could just call me a boxer. I'm not sure which, but I am right there on the line. I was born in February of 65, so I'm weird. I'm one of those, I'm a hybrid. That's what it is. I'm energy efficient because I'm a hybrid. Then we have your Gen Ys or your millennials from 81 to 95, and the Gen Zs. I have one of these at home. He's an interesting little fella from 96 through 2012. So let's talk about kind of some of the traits and some of their likes and dislikes and so forth. So our traditionals with technology, some of them are very hesitant about technology. They don't embrace it. Some have even gotten kind of left behind in it. So you have to be kind of cautious and go, well, just clickety, click, click, and you'll get there. And they look at you like, oh yeah? Communication style is definitely probably a little bit different than some of the younger folks. They like face-to-face. They like to talk on the phone still. They're more, probably more formal. They're not using the LOL, BRB. Reporting, they're used to, they grew up in the hierarchy that, you move up to the ladder. You don't jump above your place on the ladder. You don't go over your boss's head. Their needs, they might need more time off, or they're at that point where they have a lot of vacation built up. So they take more time off. And they need full medical benefits. When you start getting older, things start falling apart. I am living proof of that. So, professional development wise, they probably prefer a seminar or a class, something more face-to-face. Say online to them, they're like, ooh, no, I don't want to do that. And mentoring, they're good mentors because boy, those are the people in the room that have that knowledge, that have been around. We have a senior finance director and our IT director. They're not traditionalists, they're boomers, but they both go out the door December 31st. And oh my gosh, what a knowledge drain we will have. They know where the bodies are buried. They know why we did every deal we've ever done. It's scary. So it's really important to get them engaged with our younger folks and get that mentoring going on. So the boomers. Some boomers are a little hesitant towards the technology. I have one in my office who, stop clicking, right? Okay. So
There's two of those.
Well, yeah, there's really two.
We have two of those.
Communication. They are some are still more face-to-face, phone. They'll do email, but it's still probably not as native to some people. Reporting, they still kind of grew up in that whole hierarchy. You don't move ahead, you got to work your way up, you got to put your time in. So that's what they're used to. Again, a little more time off. When you have vacation built up, you want some time off. Medical benefits, get to that age where, we got to go to the doctor a little more often. And they tend to be workaholics. They have that, it was ingrained into them. Yeah, that would be me. That's where the boomer comes in. That's the boomer part of the box. Absolutely workaholic. Totally guilty of it. Professional development, still probably prefer the seminars and classes. And then mentoring again. Some of these folks are going to be ready to retire. A lot of them. I can't remember what the percentages are. I know at the city we've had a ton of people retire in the last couple of years. And so we've got to get that transfer knowledge. We've got some of that going on right now. So the Gen Xers. So this is the young part of me, actually, the Xer part. So technology, it's a mix. Some are hesitant. I know people my age who haven't been probably as immersed into technology, and so they're probably not as comfortable with it. But then there are others who are very capable, and some are even experts. I think Julie will attest. Something's wrong with the computer in my office. It's, hey, Penny, this isn't working. So there's a mix there. So we're the me generation, of course. And we're very competitive. A lot of us we really compete. We want to get ahead. We want to, oh, I can do it better than that. So you have a little bit of that, but yet still respect the hierarchy. Grew up respecting the hierarchy. We're starting to age, very much so, unfortunately for some of us. And they want family time, but they still need the challenge. They're still at that age where they still might be like, hey, I can move up a couple more runs, or I want to take on that kind of challenge. So they're not really ready to move out of the way yet, and they still, but they do like work-life balance. So that's why I don't have a women thing, right? So professional development, they're kind of a mix. So some of them still do the seminars and like the face-to-face, but you have some that do the just-in-time stuff. They like online. I finished my degree online. It's kind of a mix. It depends on what you work in. Mentoring, it's great to pair these folks with the seasoned employees. Get them in with the boomers and get that knowledge from them. That really helps, because these are your leaders. These are your ones that are already in leadership, or they're moving right into it. Okay, so the millennials. I love my millennials. So they're experts at technology, right? There's Julie with her cell phone taking pictures. And they get accused of being on it all the time sometimes too. They're really good at social media. They're really good at email, some instant messaging. But they're informal. They do have BRB and LOL and all the little. So you have to coach them sometimes with writing skills and things like that. The reporting, they like more teamwork. They like the mentor team. They love the network, which I think we all do. That's why we're all here, right? Their work, though, is more value-based, probably, than the boomers and Xers. They want it to mean something. They want to feel like they're doing something that's important or making a difference. Professional development, definitely, they're more of an online group. They're the ones probably signing up for virtual conference. So you have to kind of tailor things to that for that generation. Mentoring, again, season them with it, pair them with the seasoned employees. They like to have the coaches. They like the coaches, yet they want to be independent too. And then the Zs. So they're just really probably starting to come into our workforce. So they live, eat, and breathe the technology. I was working on my presentation, and there's some embedded video when we get a little further, and who do you think I asked for help with that? That would be the Z at home. I said, hey, I need some video clips. Oh, no problem, Mom, hang on. So, and they will be discouraged if they don't have that kind of technology available. I've run into that. I see it. I get frustrated with it, but we're like, what's this paper? Why are you passing this paper all over the place? They are more of an online world. So, and sometimes their friends are online. That's where their world is. They like the challenge. They like to be independent, and they want to move. They want to move up fast, and they want to get going and take over the world. My son has these beautiful cars that he wants, and I'm like, you better get a good job. You better move up quick. And again, it's good to pair them with the seasoned employees. Maybe it's good to get them in more, with your millennials and your boomers, or I'm sorry, your Gen Xers, for really, to relate a little better. But it's good. We got to develop them. All right. So, told you I was going to get you up there. Y'all ready? We're going to dance. Everybody stand up. You don't have to dance. You can just have your foot. But I'm going to test your knowledge. See, I told you I'd make you stay awake, didn't I? All right, so I want to test your knowledge. And we'll play some clips, and I want you to tell exactly. You already know one of them, don't you? I want to test your knowledge and tell me what generation we're talking about. So, oh, crap.
That would be the 80s.
That's the 80s.
Every single person of the whole world knows this song.
I know, exactly, right? Sorry, hang on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So that was the 80s. That was the boomers, a little bit Xers, but everybody knows that dance. And did anybody dance? I missed that.
Really
All
have
right,
music
Julie
first.
did. Okay. Where's Camille? She was dancing. Yeah, dancers, come on up. Okay, this one will be a challenge for you, Julie.
Hustle.
Do you know this one? Very good. It says like. We got Chris back here. He's funny. Good job, Chris. Good job. Yep, we found the dancing. All right. I think this one first. There you go. My kids do that. All right. Let's see what we got next. This next one, unfortunately, the clip got a little shortened, but some of y'all know this one. Hey, Julie knows how to talk slide. Yeah, I've seen videos of Julie talking on the cruise. So yeah, she knows that one. Yeah. All right. Here we go. You ready? Yeah, let's go. We had that filter, right? Yeah. There you go, Brandon. Show them how to
What's the big deal? This is perfectly normal.
All right. And so we got one more. And we all know this one. This one goes across all generations. Okay, everybody.
Oh, wow.
5 and 6. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, you can say it. Okay, that keep you awake so hard. What about this one? Okay, good job. Okay.
You put the camera in?
I totally did.
Camera.
All right.
I wish to file a complaint. I have a text message from Pamela Cotham.
Uh-oh.
Go, Brian, I like your move. Oh.
I'm not saying a word.
We can all go.
You'll have to watch the video to know.
So now that we know who they all are, some of the differences, now what we do? That's the good question, right? So kind of bridging the gap. One of the key things you can do is find some common ground. It's really interesting in our office. We have Julie, who's a millennial. We have me, that's the Xer kind of boomer. And then we have Jim, who's a boomer. He is a boomer. We all three have children the exact same age. They're all high school students.
Yes, we do. All three of us.
Yes. So we have all, for years, been like, so how's this 15-year-old thing going? Oh my gosh, let me tell you about that. So we do kind of have that common ground of dealing with that, and it's helped kind of pull us all together. you have to understand what motivates your employees. So you have to learn. Are they workaholics like me? Do they just strive on that and go, hey, give me more, I'll take more? Or do they want more of a work-life balance? Do they want to go home on time? Do they want to try to have their weekends clear? Do they have other things they want to do? So you have to kind of find that. Doing less with more. Brian and I were just lamenting this earlier in the day. How are you? I'm good. Really busy. How are you? Plates are crashing. Life is great. We're all doing less with more. So we've got to work together. You've got to have that teamwork and really encourage your folks to work together. You need to avoid the negative stereotypes. So, which is, yeah, I call myself a workaholic. That's great. But, and you hear it in even the media, the millennials, the way it's said, there's millennials.
It's a dirty word.
Yeah, it is. Well, I did this, and I didn't tell you this part. So at Chapter Academy, we had roundtable sessions. And so this was my topic, actually. Me and Rebecca King did this together. And people were like, I was born in 82. I am not a millennial. Why am I listed as a millennial? It has become kind of like a dirty word. So you got to be really careful, take that conscious effort, and don't dismiss them. Don't, when they come to you with this excitement and great idea, and we're all that way after we've done a seminar, we come back and we're like, so, guess what I've learned in quorum? Oh my gosh, let's do this. Don't just dismiss them. You need to listen to them. You need to take the time to see what they want to do. Communication style, and we'll do an exercise here in a few minutes, but nothing major. I won't make your knees go out. Communicate with your staff in the method they prefer. So my boss prefers, he likes email, he's okay with email, but if he really wants to get a point across, he either wants you to come talk to him, or he wants you to make a phone call. Go call her and talk to her and tell her this. Well, that's not my style. But yes, sir, I'll go do that because I'm still that, the Xer who respects the authority. And stop and listen to them. Just like I was saying, when they come back and they're all excited and they've been seminared, and you got to take the time to listen. And I think we kind of even heard that this morning, when we were talking about customer service. That was something with customer service as well. Take the time, listen. Learn from each other. So seasoned generations can share their experience, and those young folks can teach us old dogs a new trick, right? When I had an intern, I think it was my second year at the city, and he was a college intern, and I had a flip phone still at that point in life, and I didn't know how to text, and he taught me how to text. So he taught me how to push 1 3 times so I could get to the letter C. But that's, they can teach us stuff. The millennials can definitely teach us stuff. My son teaches me things. It's enlightening every day. But we know things too. We can teach you, hey, here's how to work through that political situation. So you can bounce off of each other and learn from each other. I'm one of those people who I don't think I ever have a day that I don't learn something. It might not be a good lesson necessarily, but I always learn something. So it's good to keep teaching between each other. Value diversity and inclusion. I love that we have the multiple generations. It's really kind of helped me learn how to work across that. So it really is helpful. Work-life balance. So again, you have to know what do they value. Do they want more time off? Do they want more money? Do they want more just free time to go do their thing? You have to understand what kind of motivates them again. And especially, so like with the younger folks, now in my generation, a lot of our parents, our dad worked, but maybe not our mom. My mom went back to work when I was in 7th grade. But most of the younger folks, both parents have worked. So they grew up seeing that and seeing that drive, and they're like, yeah, I want that balance. I don't want to be constantly worrying about work. All right. Facilitated retreat. So I never really thought I would ever say, oh, you should have a facilitated retreat. We've actually done that at the city. We have a new deputy mayor that's over, well, he's been deputy mayor for a couple of years, but He is over our finance department now, and so about a year ago, he said, I think it'd be good to have a few retreats. And especially because we do have our finance director is going to retire. And so we did. And so I tried to go in with an open mind. Okay, it's cool. I'll play. And it's been good. It truly has been good. We learned about each other. Even though we all work together in some form or fashion, we learned more about how each other communicate, how we've learned what they do. Treasury, the folks in Treasury who take care of all the receivables and, making sure the paychecks get out and all that, they didn't necessarily know what we do. And we don't know what they do. We don't know what revenue does. So it's been a really good experience. I really highly recommend it if you can get somebody to come in, a good leadership team that can facilitate something like that. So it's been a good experience for us. And I'm rattling on. Questions as we go? Anybody comments? All right.
We don't necessarily do it like that. We have a program where we facilitate people getting to know each other when they come in. And we have a lot more millennials coming in now.
Sure. Yeah.
Doing that. But we have a what we call a Play Like a Champion program. We do it every other year now, I believe, where every department in the city takes, you have to apply for it. It's a group of 10 to 15 to 20 people. They apply for it, and throughout all the departments in the city, but they end up going to every department in the city and find out what that department does.
Oh, okay.
So if they ever wanted to actually move up,
Right.
because millennials do want to
Yes.
move
Yeah.
throughout the thing, you want to go quickly, it doesn't really matter what
Right.
the
Right.
experience is. They just want to
Yeah.
they want to move around, is so that they understand what procurement does, they understand what facilities does, they understand what risks do, they understand all those components, so they can move around to a job if they want.
Great.
So it does make you realize that you can move around, and also gives them open opportunity and being able to move up.
That's
A
great.
lot of times you don't have that.
And then do you get input from them as well?
Yes, we do.
Right.
We also we do surveys for that. We also have the Play Like a Champion group has it's an independent group that they have a personally. We also have the Spirit thing that Catherine did, a Spirit Award thing where we actually do those things, and they're independent of administration or anybody else.
Nice.
So that way there's input always going in, and you don't get that.
Right.
You
Right.
got to do it this way.
Good. Okay. We have, so the city of Knoxville, we have a city ambassador program. And with that, you go, and I can't remember, it might be 12 weeks, but you meet every few weeks, and you do the same thing. They take them all over the city, they tour different facilities, they learn about, and we have to do a little presentation of what we do. And that's been really helpful. And they've helped kind of with our intranet page and what should go on there and communication. So that's good. Anybody else have something similar that? Okay. All right. So to show you kind of, to break the stereotypes and show you communication styles, I need you to get all up again. Let's form one big line down through here. We'll try. If everybody hits it, we'll try it and see what happens. I know, this is gonna be tough. This room's not.
Oh, look, he's wearing out those Tootsie-Rolls.
Okay, so if that kind of curve around, we'll just work with those as best we can. So what I want to do is when I mention something, I'll tell you if it's option A, I want you to go to your right, this way. If it's option B, go to the left, okay? So first thing we're gonna say, option A is home phone. Is what? Home phone. Anybody got home phones? Yeah, we still got home phones? Okay, that's good. Well, just like where you're at, you don't have to move. It's just like the right, just kind of scoot to the right versus scoot to the left. Okay? So we'll end up kind of forming two lines. I know, it would be easier. Yeah, go to the right if you have a home phone. There you go. Okay, step forward.
Yeah, that's right. Step forward. Yeah, I think this is a generational thing.
Okay, so option B is if you have a cell phone, if you only have a cell phone, you don't have a home phone, take a step back.
Hey, does it matter that I only have that because the bundle was
Let me
cheap?
go get that.
Okay, so if you prefer to read actual hard copy books, magazines, step forward.
Say it again.
If you like books and magazines. rather
You'd
than
rather
reading
paper
on-
instead of
If you would prefer to read on a device, take a step back.
Would you rather?
I'm gonna be in the middle then.
You know?
All right, so for Facebook, Twitter, step forward. Versus if you prefer Snapchat, Instagram. Step back. All right, so you fly into the airport and you prefer to take the shuttle, so you're step forward. Well, okay. Okay, I got the microphone. Everybody can stop. Okay, so if you're at the airport and you prefer to take the shuttle, go forward. If you'd rather take the Uber or the Lyft, go back. That's okay, you don't have to go far back. Okay, so if you like to hang out with your friends, meet for dinner, gather at the mall, forward. If you prefer to just chat with everybody online and you hardly ever see them and you just keep up on Facebook, go backward. Okay. You don't have to keep coming forward, you're okay. Okay, so if you prefer to go shopping at the mall or at the stores, you're forward. If you prefer shopping online, step back. Okay, so if when the new iPhone comes out, you're like, or Android, I'm not gonna, we want to discriminate, we'll be inclusive. If you prefer to keep the one you got, you don't have to hurry up and get the brand new one, stay forward. If you can't wait to get the new one and you gotta have it as soon as it comes out, step back. All right. And last but not least, let's see. I thought I had one more. Oh, that was the last one. Okay. So, so look at where you're at in relation to everybody. And it's kind of interesting if you look. You would expect, probably, based on the stereotypes, that all the young people would be in the back, right? Because that's more the online. We are. See, we got Debbie. She's crossing lines over here, right?
I only have a cell phone, don't have a.
There you go. See?
I do Facebook.
Yeah. So that's why, and that's,
I'm young.
yeah. But that's why I wanted to do this exercise so you could see. Just because I'm a boomer, Xer, boxer, whatever, doesn't mean I'm going to be way up here, because I like technology and I like to read on my phone and I like to read on my devices and I hate going shopping. So that's what, and this is an exercise you could actually kind of take back to your staff and try that out and kind of see how it works out. So it'll help you kind of learn how to better communicate with everybody. Okay, very good. Good job. All right, so I have a couple more things real quick. So now that we've got that figured out, we're ready to go back, right? We know how to deal with this. We've learned, right? You think? Because coming soon to an office near you, Generation Alpha. Yeah. So these are, unfortunately, since they were born after 2012, I should be retired by the time they get to my office. So hopefully I don't think I can do that another one. But, I like this quote about it. So they're born to technology like it's a fifth element. I mean, they are. It's just part of their lives. They learn it from the cradle on, you know? And I thought it was really interesting that it says that many of them may never drive a car. Which is probably true, because we'll have we'll probably have, you know, automated with the auto driving cars, self-driving cars. Yeah, plus even the younger people, they love to Uber and Lyft. My son is 18 and has no desire to drive. It drives me nuts. Like, you need to drive. Yeah, we couldn't wait, right? Cecilia just said, the day I was 15, I was at the DMV getting that permit. 1 year later, I was back, because that was the day I got to go wherever I wanted to. So yeah, it's just a different generation. So be prepared for that on the horizon, right? All right. That's all I had. Sean, did I see you had your hand up? Did you want to say something?
Generation cyborg.
Cyborg. Nice. Okay. I like it. All right. Comment. Yeah, go.
I was gonna say that even though I'm a boomer, the last two restaurants that we've had to wait in line, they take your phone number and they send you a text when your table's ready.
Yep.
And my friend said, well, what happens if you don't have a phone, you know, but that's the way all restaurants, they're getting away from the click things.
Absolutely. The pagers and all that. Right. Yeah, it is. Plus that now they've got your phone number.
Right.
Yeah. Marketing. Marketing. All right. Anything else? Any issues struggling with us old boomer people? All right. Thank
Watch
you.
the Generation Alpha try to use a dial phone.
Oh. Very good. All right. Thank you all very
Thanks,
much.
Penny.